Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bengals somewhat realistic rebuild. I think it's keeping a fair amount of realism going at the moment. But if you want me to change anything about the series, do let me know down in the comments. And I've listened to feedback, and I'm going to be playing pretty much the entire games from now on. But I'll be doing one half offense, one half defense. We've got two big games today. One against the Browns to start off with, and then a tough game against the Dolphins in Miami, where they are known for being good. I mean, their home record is a lot better than their record when they're away, so obviously they will have their advantage in their stadium. But it's going to be a tough two games today. We do have a few upgrades going on in the background. Dwayne Haskins, he's performing pretty well. His throw power does need to be upgraded a little bit, but he is very much a dual threat quarterback, which definitely benefits us. It gives us a lot of chance to try out different things. But looking at the draft board, there are a few players that I have noticed could be very good for the team, especially this right tackle, Leonard Reeser. He looks phenomenal. His run blocking is ridiculous, and especially with Cordy Glenn as our sort of stand-in right tackle for now. He's not the best right tackle in the world. He's doing a decent job, but I think we could use someone of the standard of that first round right tackle that we just showed there. But there are a few guys I might also take, because I don't know, depending on how our record is, I don't know if Leonard Reeser is going to be available. We might have to trade up to get him potentially, and I don't really like doing that, considering there are a few positions on the team that we do need. We do need more linebackers, I think. I know Vontaze Burfict and Preston Brown are good, but they are also upgradable at this point. But this is, once again, we did get the weekly award with Joe Mixon in there, and this is what the team looks like now. We're looking really good, to be honest. We're at 79 overall. Our defence is our strong point, but offensively, I know we're not the most highest rated team in the league, but we do have a lot of good playmakers. I mean, AJ Green, Tyler Boyd are playing phenomenally. Tyler Eifert's been great, and Dwayne Haskins. I know he's not the highest rated quarterback. He's very much suiting that game manager role and just making them big plays when they're needed. And so also Joe Mixon. How can I forget Joe Mixon? He has been the best player 2 weeks in a row. And one thing I actually did notice from our practice squad, we have Mike Ford on there. He would be a great sort of fourth choice corner for us, but him and Oruwariye, I'm going to sort of rotate between the two, just because they're both good players, and they can both make plays. And Oruwariye is having a great season so far. I think he already has a few picks under his belt. But that is what the team looks like. We do have to cut one player, unfortunately, and I think Christian Westerman is going to be the guy who we give up. We're not really using him much. We have a lot of guards. He's sort of fifth or fourth choice on the depth chart, so he's someone we're probably not going to use. So we'll get rid of him. But without too much talking, too long an intro, we'll go into today's game against the Browns. It's going to be a tough one, and I'll see you guys in there.
Mixin', fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. This is the 2018 regular season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to square off against the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gardner and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win.
So, jumping into the game against the Browns, we are already 3-0 down, because first half we're going to do offense, second half we are going to do defense. Hopefully we can get something going here. Joe Mixon, shrugging off tackles as per usual, picks up a nice 6-yard gain on first down there. We are going to abuse Mixon this game if we can get him going, and we have got him going the past two games. Hopefully we can get something else going here, but the Browns do get a nice tackle on him there. I think he does just about pick up a first down. If not, we managed to pick up a first down on the next play there. But going into this, we're going to sort of, as I said, rely on Mixon, try and get some play action there, but Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, has real case of fumbleitis. He fumbles all the time. I think it was Myles Garrett who caused that fumble with a good sack. And we do get a fairly nice punt there after we have the punt on our first drive. So not the most productive first drive, unfortunately. But going into the second drive, we are down 10-0. And as I said, when it comes to simulation, Browns are very good. But when you have someone like Joe Mixon who does not go down, things like this can happen. He'll just break a huge run there, celebrate into the end zone, and, well, bring us back in the game, to be honest. Without that, we weren't getting going offensively. We needed something there, and he just provided it. He's so good in this game, Joe Mixon. So our next offensive possession in the second half, we get out of the end zone nicely from Dwayne Haskins there, and Tyler Eifert, he's doing the same thing Joe Mixon does. He's just shrugging people off like they aren't even there. And what I actually have done is I've changed the sliders around a little bit. I've got the computer tackling on 70. So, and we're playing on all Madden. So you'd expect them to be at least good at tackling, but clearly not when three big plays in a row there. Tyler Boyd, great touchdown. He bodies off his DB fantastically there and gets into the end zone. It did give us the 14-10 lead, but the Browns do answer immediately there, 17-14. There is still time for us to get a score on the board in the second half here before we go into halftime. I don't really want to be losing at the half because it is hard. I mean, we'll have to rely on the computer to score for us, which they might score, but at the same time, I want us to go in with a lead so defensively we can keep that lead and get the team going. Great throw there from Dwayne Haskins to Tyler Boyd, who gets absolutely slammed over the middle, but he does still pick up the huge gain. And we're going to not go to Joe Mixon here, which I thought we were going to do. We're going to throw it to AJ Green, and he does catch the ball, but unfortunately it is out of bounds. So next play, 2nd and 10, we're in the red zone. Going to give the ball to Carter, who does shrug off a few guys. I think the tackling upgrade in the next few games will really be noticeable. Admittedly, it was already on 60, which I thought would be high enough, but we have upped it to make it a little bit more difficult and not shrug off every tackle, which I don't know if it's just a Joe Mixon thing, because the computer doesn't seem to do it to us and our tackling is lower, but Joe Mixon does get the score before the half, gives us the 21-24 lead, but unfortunately, the Browns, not the Bengals, the Browns do score. We are up to the 41-yard line. I'm going to try and at least get a field goal. Might go for a big play here if something's open. There's nothing open. Going to throw to the left-hand side. We're not in field goal range. We might be able to get a really long field goal. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to launch it up to... I'm going to go Hail Mary style. Launch it up to AJ Green. And it goes over everyone. It goes over literally everyone there. And John Ross comes up with the catch. Absolutely ridiculous there that he managed to come up with that. No idea how it happened. As you can see, everyone goes forward and jumps over it, and John Ross is just standing at the back of the end zone and ends up catching it. Everyone was on AJ Green, and they're going to regret that because that gives us a good lead. And we come out in the second half, and our offense scores yet again, giving us the 11-point lead. So we're up 35-24. And now we're on defense. We have to secure the game. But Baker Mayfield is very, very good in simulation here. Great play action. I absolutely fall for it. He's got no one open here, and he just dumps it off. We managed to get the pick with Preston Brown just because he was holding onto the ball for about 8 to 9 seconds there. We got in position. We had so many guys just waiting to pick him off, and we get the pick. And our offense scores straight off the turnover, which puts us in a great position to win the game at this point. I mean, it's third quarter. We're up 42-24. We just don't want to give up any big plays. Let them have a score quick in the game. So we're going to send pressure because I assume they're going to pass it a lot if they're down this much. We're going to send a lot of blitzes. Man up our guys because I trust our guys in man. And nice throw from Baker there up to our 40-yard line. Baker's having a fairly decent day here in his secondary season in the league. Good pass there, but for some reason, I think it was Duke Johnson just walked straight out of bounds and gave us, get them to a 2nd and 11. But once again, they do get a big play on offense there. They're going to go for another play action, which I do keep falling for. Fortunately, Billings does not fall for it and gets a huge sack. He's been such a good D lineman for us. I'm really happy with how he's playing. And once again, sending a little bit of pressure. They do have to dump it off, and we missed the tackle. But fortunately for us, I think it's Trey Kirkpatrick there. Comes in with a nice leg tackle. Tried to get a fumble on there. I just want to get a few fumbles because I never get fumbles in this game. No one open. Baker is going to scramble. We're going to go for the hit. Big hit. He does slide and picks up a 14-yard gain there just because our D-line, when I'm sending just 4, they're not getting much pressure. When I'm sending 5, we're getting great pressure. Baker has all day to survey the field and he throws a fantastic touchdown to Antonio Callaway there. Unfortunately for us, but we do still have, I think, a 2-possession lead at this point. Here's a 2-possession lead. It'll be it's 45 to 31 now. We're jumping in. There's still 4 minutes left. Anything can happen. 2 touchdowns and the game is even. And they do have the ball. And they get a very nice throw there. I thought he was going to turn upfield and just go there. I thought William Jackson did get burned. I mean, luckily for us, he didn't try and jump the ball too much, so he could still get the tackle in. And Baker once again going to drop back. Throws it literally straight to Mark Barron there. Not sure what he was thinking. Maybe he got the colours confused because they are quite similar or reversed colours. And he just threw it literally straight to Mark Barron, pretty much ending the game for them. Making it 48 to 31. And that is the game sealing pick there. Not exactly sure who that is. It is Oruwariye with a pick. And that's why we're keeping him in the team, because he's just an absolute ball hawk. And that should probably be the end of the game. So that was the end of the game, guys. Dwayne Haskins, fantastic game there. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Pretty much, an 84 completion percentage is fantastic. Joe Mixon, once again, phenomenal game. Getting up to getting near 200 yards. A lot of them in the second half. Tyler Boyd being a standout. He's someone I definitely want to re-sign coming on the end of the year. And offensive line, we only gave up 1 sack. And defensively, we did only get the 1 sack with Andre Billings. So, not the best performance defensively there. We did give up a lot of points. And our offensive line did give up a few sacks. But let's jump into the game against the Dolphins. After a big win against the Browns, we do go into next week or week 4 against the Dolphins. And we do have some trade offers for Andy Dalton. This is something, we are using Dwayne Haskins. So this is probably the more unrealistic side of things. Redskins are a potentially good place to go. Because Alex Smith obviously injured for a long time. He'll be a good pickup for them. Buffalo doesn't make sense because they've got Josh Allen. And Miami, I don't think they want someone like Andy Dalton. He's very much in the mould of Ryan Tannehill. So we're going to go with the Redskins. We'll get a few extra picks in now. Hopefully we can pick up one of those right tackles we were looking at earlier, who looked really good. We do have a few little upgrades as well. We've got Jesse Bates here, who's developing really nicely. He's up to an 83. He's got that quick dev, so he should upgrade a little bit more, but he is our only upgrade this week. So, we do actually have some weekly awards, but let's jump into the game against the Dolphins.
Mixin', fixin' for another big game. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
So once again, we're going to start this game on offense, and we are going to start with Joe Mixon duking someone out. It's becoming the norm now, to be honest, that he never gets taken down by that first tackle, and we're just going to keep abusing that. And we've got the tackle in this game, but he does just shrug off players. He nearly went to the house there, but they did get a good shoestring tackle on him. And this play, 1st and 10. We're going to go with the play action. Hopefully they're sort of gambling on the run a little bit. We get a very nice play there. We get Great play to John Ross on the curl route to the outside. Since they were playing off, I thought curl route definitely would work. And we're going to go for a big play here. Dwayne Haskins, he's got the throw power to go deep. Tyler Eifert wide open over the middle. Gets absolutely cracked. But we do pick up a nice little first down there. And now next play, once again, going to go with a play action. We are running the ball a fair amount. As you can see, it wasn't working. We were 3rd and 13. But hopefully they're going to gamble on the fact that we're going to run the ball. And we do very nearly throw a pick there. Very fortunate that they didn't pick that up. I think it was Jerome Baker there, so not the best catching on him. But once again, Joe Mixon to the outside. Hurdles nothing. Gives him a little speed boost, and he's off to the end zone. We're up to 3-0, and we're going to shortly make that 10-0 with Joe Mixon here. And what a great celebration the game is showing us that he's doing there. Fantastic from Joe Mixon. But let's go into the next play. Miami did manage to get a touchdown. It's not actually a sunny day in Miami, so their stadium home advantage isn't going to show as much. If you guys don't know about that, let me know down in the comments if you don't know about that, actually, because that's a really interesting little thing that Miami have done with their stadium. But anyway, Jerome Baker does recover a fumble there, so makes up for his earlier mishap of dropping the interception, and Miami take the 14-10 lead. So I think this is one of the first times this year we haven't had a lead, and we do get sacked as well. So offensively, we are struggling a little bit. We're relying on Joe Mixon breaking big runs at this point, and looks like he's got the space to do another one. He jukes 2 guys at once, but does get brought down by number 55 there. Good run from Joe Mixon. He's getting cooking a little bit this game, which is exactly what we want to see. And on 3rd and 6, we're not going to run with it here. We're going to sort of wait as much as we can. And we do get sacked again. I just sort of know that was coming, but I can't see anyone that was uncovered there. Even though, I mean, we had sort of 5 or 6 seconds in the pocket, so you would expect at least one person to be open. They do send a little bit of pressure here. Joe Mixon, unfortunately, gets off the first tackle, but he just barely gets past the line of scrimmage on that screen play. So we're going to go 2nd and 7. We're going to try some hurry up here. There's not much longer left in the half. It's 10-17 because Miami did get a touchdown on our defense there, and once again Dwayne Haskins throwing into double coverage is becoming a thing, and he's only 3 for 5 in the first half. We're not completing many passes, so we're going to try a lot more high percentage passes on this drive. We've got time to go down the field quite slowly, so we will keep trying that. We're going to send a few people deep on this one, but also Joe Mixon on the outside is on a curl, so I think on the left hand side Tyler Eifert could be open. We do shrug off a tackler there, and we're going to run for it. I did try and run for it way earlier, but it wasn't happening. Fortunately, for some reason, I don't know how he didn't fumble on that play, but he does fumble on a fair amount of other plays. Going to go for a screen again. They do send pressure. Joe Mixon, nice little gain here. Once again, high percentage passing. Just getting Dwayne Haskins going a little bit, get him cooking, and hopefully, you know, he won't throw any more picks this game. I think he was, well, I don't think he actually has thrown one yet, but he's had the potential for about 4 or 5. And make that 6 if that was right there. He doesn't need to throw another pick into double coverage. I was sort of panicking a little bit at this point. It is 3rd and 3. We do get him to jump. It wasn't given as a flag, but we do pick up the first down anyway. Joe Mixon gets absolutely cracked there from, I think it was Rashard Jones coming in there with a big hit on him. Obviously, not happy he scored that touchdown on them in the first quarter. He's trying to make him regret it. So play action on the right hand side. Looks like he's open, but they do get a nice little pass break up there. I think that's Rashard Jones again coming up with a big play there. So one of the last plays of the half. We're going to scramble. We're going to try and get out of bounds. I don't think we can, so we're just going to try and pick up the first down. And we do still have 2 timeouts. So getting out of bounds wasn't 100% necessary. Joe Mixon over the middle. We're going to hurdle, and we're going to get into the end zone to make it a tied game going into the half. 17 apiece. Joe Mixon coming up big. AJ Green is loving it. He's loving it so much, he's teleporting across the field. But Joe Mixon runs up the middle. Great halfback draw play there. And looks like he died on the line there. That was, I mean, harsh to watch. But 20-17, we did get a field goal. But we do start defense. That was in the entire third quarter. Wasn't worth putting in. It was literally a back and forth battle. Nothing happened besides the field goal. So it's going straight to the 4th. We are down to our 15-yard line, now to our 8, after a big run there from the Dolphins running back. I'm guessing it's Kenyon Drake. I can't tell by the number. I don't know much about the Dolphins, if I'm being honest. But a big sack coming in there from Oruwariye. I mean, he's just all over the field. He makes at least one big play a game, and he doesn't get that many snaps. So I'm thinking maybe next year, after Kirkpatrick has gone down a little bit, he'll be one of our main guys. But definitely a coverage sack there. Billings, he's getting a sack a game as well. Him and Oruwariye are just names that keep popping up, that I keep noticing they are performing. But it is 2nd and 18. We did get a touchdown on the turnover there, or the turnover on downs, and we just have to make sure the Dolphins can't go down and score quick. All we want is just we'll keep giving up underneath, because if they keep taking underneath, I don't know if they'll have time to get down the field. They are going to launch it long into double coverage. It's pinged up, and unfortunately we can't get the pick there. You would have thought one of our guys would have come up with that. Mark Barron was back there, of all people. He's got great hands, so you'd expect him to be one of the guys to get the pick. Nearly get you'd expect us to get a sack there. They do nearly get upfield there. Ryan Tannehill, he's having a decent game, to be fair to him. So trading Andy Dalton to them wouldn't have made much sense, because Tannehill's obviously performing decently. He's got 20 points on a very good defense. Trying to get, once again, as I said, we'll give up the underneath. We'll give up the short crossing routes, and they shouldn't have time to get all the way down for a touchdown. And if they do get into the red zone, I mean, they get into the red zone. But we're going to send everyone here just because I thought we could get a sack, and we do. Dolphins call a timeout. 3rd and 15. Once again, we're going to send pressure. We do get through. We just shrug off the running back like he's not even there. I think that was Sean Williams coming up with a sack there. And 4th and 20. Once again, going to send quite a bit of pressure. Unfortunately, he does get wide open, but Tannehill overthrows it. Thank God. They could have used Andy Dalton on that last throw, I guess. He probably would have made that. Fortunately, he overthrows it, and that is game over. We kneel out. Tannehill had a good game, though. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But when it mattered, he just couldn't deliver the goods. Very fortunately for us, we do keep our unbeaten start to the season going. We are 4-0. So it's a great start to the year for us. Joe Mixon had a fantastic game, as you can see. Receptions, he actually got the most receptions as well as the most rushing yards. I think the screenplays had a lot to do with that. He was our only guy who got touchdowns, I think, actually. So fair play to him. A lot of sacks on a lot of different defensive members. But that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys soon for another video.
Put your hands up in